I'm here at the NASDAQ, where Intel and Dell have just gotten together to talk more about powering complex workloads. And I caught up with Gaurav Chand, Dell's Executive Director of Data Center Solutions Marketing. And the first thing we spoke about was whether or not he has a vision of the perfect data center.
The perfect data center is not about how many teraflops I can deliver through my compute technology. It's not about how much RAM do I have in a system or internal storage. It's not about the ability to move data seamlessly across different tiers of storage. The perfect data center is always defined by what the user is trying to achieve and how it can enable that user to achieve the mission. I think you have to look at it as, again, user defined, right? There are businesses that we go into that have absolutely different needs. The one thread that we absolutely see which is consistent, irrespective of the business, whether you talk to a healthcare provider, whether you talk to an education provider or retail, right? This whole being able to take an amount of information, be able to crunch it down at extremely fast speeds and derive insights out of that, which directly affect your decision-making capability, is one thing that we have seen a lot of our customers challenging us on and gravitating towards in terms of internal processes within their organization. I think that's one thing the technology industry has to evolve. Gone are the days of these, really monolithic proprietary technologies. Customers do have, and that's one of the biggest challenges customers face, is when they look at their data center and they look at all of these new technologies come in, the vendors that's eventually going to win the battle is the person who's going to be able to take everything that they have and seamlessly transition it to this new compute or store or fabric kind of an environment, and that's a really large focus for Dell. So one of the technologies, for example, that we acquired a couple of years ago, the Advanced Infrastructure Manager, that's exactly what it allows you to do in a very heterogeneous environment. So, if I want to set up, if I'm trending towards the path of converged infrastructure, for example, and I have all of these incumbent products in my data center, what allows you, and it's a software layer that sits above all of this compute, right? What allows you to be able to take that, blend the old with the new, right, and make a slower transition, because we fundamentally have never believed in this whole rip and replace kind of mentality, because our customers tell us it's just a very weird notion for technologies that they have invested in for years, and some of them could have invested it a year ago. Just come out and rip and replace that whole thing. I think that's where technology fails to become that enabling factor, and until you get over that, you're just not going to be able to transition a lot of our customers to next generations. It's pretty amazing. Walk into a customer's data center and the noise level of that data center is pretty phenomenal, right? So it's coupling of the technology. So it's not just the noise level, but it's also the power efficiency, and the power efficiency gets you there, and that's what Dell very much indexed upon, is how do you make these as potentially efficient as possible, low latency, processors, and a bunch of stuff that gets you there, right? Well, if you take a medium business, for example, a lot of these guys have servers in their closets which are sitting right out there, right? Imagine the amount of noise generated out of that where these guys are conducting business. That's one really tiny example of a manifestation of these low noise devices and things like that. But again, the real impetus for going around that is this notion that, as these data centers scale out and as application sizes get really large and you have a massive compute environment, the pressure this is putting from an energy utilization standpoint from a data center is massive. massive, is absolutely massive. And how do you get a handle of containing that? Part of it is this whole notion of consolidation, right? Whether it's virtualization or other things that can help you consolidate your data center. But the other aspect of it is even internally within a chassis, within a server chassis, how do you make that more efficient potentially? I think the thing that I'm most invigorated, and I've been in this industry for quite some time, I think this is the first time I can very confidently say that technology is being truly used as an enabling factor to go achieve business objectives. I think 10 years ago, a business objective would be founded, and then the CIO was brought in asking, hey, what can you do? Or will you be able to keep up with this? Now, the CIO is very much a part of the conversation, and technology is one of the enabling factors. So, I mean, let's take healthcare, for example, right? You take healthcare and you see everything that is required. I mean, the sizes of CAT scans and MRIs are getting so large. How do you efficiently store, search, index, and pull that information at a drop of a hat? Technology enables you to do that. How do you create a really rich learning environment for students right from higher education institutions right down to the K through 12? Technology enables you to do that. So a lot of the missions that the customers are going to achieve are now being realized with technology sitting in the room driving a lot of that innovation.